Welcome to the Tesla Economist. Please hit the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Is now a good time to be buying Tesla stock? Well, it's 10% off from its all-time high, so there have been worse times to buy, but waiting for it to drop more can be risky, as you're essentially trying to time the market, which is something that is not possible. Do I think Tesla can drop further? Yes, it could possibly. Some people are thinking perhaps $770 to $780. On the other hand, it could just as likely jump back up to $850 tomorrow. I've seen both scenarios happen many times before, and in much more extreme cases too. So let's explore some of the reasons the stock is down and work out if that will have any other further effects on price drops, or if this might just be the Tesla bargain of the month. So the biggest headline we've had is that Tesla invested $1.5 billion into Bitcoin. This has actually put off a lot of investors, and they've sold their shares as a result, which is likely partly responsible for the price drop. No one knows the date or price of when this occurred, but in the SEC 10K form, we can see that it is dated for the fiscal year ended December the 31st, 2020. So I assume that would imply that the purchase happened sometime before the end of 2020. From the start of December, Bitcoin was around $20,000 and then got close to $29,000 by the end of the month. So let's guess that Tesla paid somewhere in the middle at around $25,000. The fact the price was rising rapidly in December could possibly have something to do with Tesla buying so much. But Bitcoin is more liquid than that, for a $1.5 billion acquisition to raise the price by nearly 50%. Since then, the price has increased to now currently $50,000 at the time of this video, which would imply about a $1.5 billion profit due to Bitcoin doubling since Tesla's purchase. Well, that's a huge profit. Sure, it's only about 0.25% of Tesla's market cap, so this rise shouldn't really have any effect on the stock price. However, it seems to have hurt the price instead. A lot of people are deterred by Bitcoin. They think it's a bubble or too risky, but this is less than 0.25% of their market cap. Even if Bitcoin went to zero, then Tesla should in theory only lose 0.25%. When the news broke, Tesla was trading around mid-800s, let's say around $850. Currently, I'm seeing the stock price close at around $796. That is over a 6% adjustment, and a difference of 11.5% from its all-time high of $900. So this is a total market overreaction. I'm actually for the purchase of Bitcoin and believe it was a great move. Right now, with interest rates as low as they are and the amount of money being printed, cash has never been more risky to hold and will inevitably lose a lot of its purchasing power through inflation. Traditionally, to store value, people would invest in gold or silver, but now we have a better version of gold, or scarcity if you like, which is what Bitcoin really is. This means that Tesla is able to maintain purchasing power in the event of any dramatic inflation. So I'm actually very happy with their decision to purchase Bitcoin. Also, the fact that Bitcoin has been on a rampage all year means there are a lot of people buying it up. This money has to come from somewhere. Bitcoin investors are more technologically savvy than the typical value investor, and they may be selling their Tesla stocks to put in Bitcoin instead, as they don't want to miss out on the gold 2.0 rush. If you look at Apple, it's on a similar trajectory. It's possible investors are replacing stocks with Bitcoin. So right now, Bitcoin is taking the tide out of the market for various millennial-type stocks. There are thoughts that Bitcoin could hit escape velocity and replace gold as a store of value. There is about the equivalent of $10 trillion of gold in the world. At the time of this video, Bitcoin is about 950 billion, so it still has the potential for 10 times more. Some of this could come from Tesla. As there's only so much money to go around, it is somewhat zero-sum, at least in the short term. In addition to that, electric luxury automaker Lucid Motors is getting closer to a deal to go public with a market valuation of around $12 billion. The merger between the SPAC special purpose acquisition company Churchill Capital 4 would be similar to the likes of what Nikola and Fisker have gone through by merging with these shell corporations designed to take companies public without going through the traditional IPO process. As a result, this boosted the stock price of CCIV significantly due to the fact this being EV related, it is possible investors have sold off Tesla in order to hope to ride Lucid, as some may consider Lucid as a Tesla competitor. Personally, I think Lucid do have a chance in the EV market. They've niched themselves away from Tesla and gone to the extreme end of luxury. They could market themselves as the Rolls-Royce of electric cars. Although I am surprised Rolls-Royce themselves have not gone electric. It seems an obvious move. Elon Musk's brother, Kimball, also sold $25 million of Tesla shares, which seem to have gathered significant coverage. Despite the fact he has nearly $500 million of Tesla shares remaining, people don't understand that some billionaires actually don't have much money, All their net worth is tied up in stocks. And with a stock like Tesla that produces no dividend, there is no income. So they still need money to live on or raise capital. Their net worth is not sitting in a bank account somewhere. Elon doesn't even take a salary, compared to other CEOs such as Herbert Diess of Volkswagen, who receives compensation of nearly $10 million. So this is nothing at all to be alarmed about either, it's just total FUD. The other major headline was Reuters informing us that Tesla will be opening an electric car manufacturing unit in Karnataka, India. It didn't specifically say gigafactory, but I guess we would assume it is, and no mention of size or output. There had been a lot of rumours as to this being the next place they will build a factory, and now it has been confirmed. Perhaps investors were hoping the factory would be built in a more developed country, where citizens could afford higher prices. But India is a huge market, and there are still a lot of affluent people in the country who could easily afford a Tesla. However, I actually believe this is more for the Model 2 market. I think that Tesla have made some breakthroughs with Model 2 and battery supply, implying this could very well be a Model 2 factory. I mean, if you think about it, this factory won't have cars coming off the production line probably until the end of 2022. A lot can happen by that time for Tesla. And of course, they won't be fully ramped up until sometime in 2023. FSD should be working then, and if Tesla deploy a Model 2 robotaxi network, and if passengers share rides like in Uber Pool, possibly up to 6 passengers a ride, depending on the configuration of the Model 2, then that could result in very low-cost travel. Not only that, but in luxury, safety, and air-conditioned. So I believe this too is a great strategic advantage, and perhaps Tesla can say to the other governments like Europe, hey, look, if our FSD works in India, it can work anywhere. So I mainly believe the reason Tesla is down is actually not because Tesla bought Bitcoin, but because people are selling Tesla stock in order to buy Bitcoin and Lucid. I would say a lot of investors just want to ride the IPO for Lucid and then take some profits, and perhaps put them back into Tesla. And Bitcoin is currently at an all-time high. Investors may very well take profits soon, and then the money should return into the market. On the other hand, there is also a chance that various board meetings have been taking place at large corporations, trying to get their heads around it all, and quite possibly hedging themselves with Bitcoin, like Tesla did. Once more news of this gets out, then there will be extreme FOMO, and there may be a huge run on Bitcoin. Full disclosure, I have been buying up as much Bitcoin as I could at the start of the year. Aside from my house and business, my only investments are Tesla and Bitcoin. And my Bitcoin holding is relatively small compared to my Tesla investment. I look at Bitcoin as more of a hedge than anything, but it sure is wild. Thanks for listening. Please hit the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe.